Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Foxy98 here. Welcome back to a brand new video for you guys today here on the channel. And today I'm doing something very different. I've never actually done one of these videos before. But basically today I'm doing a online race. If you guys may or may not have known, basically Ben, or Tiametmarduk as you will know him as, he actually hosted an online lobby yesterday where he did a short qualifying session and then a 25% race around Spa and also Hungary. And I managed to join for the race at the Belgian Grand Prix. And I just decided to record it and just see how I got on. So, yeah, I've never done one of these type of races. Of course, I knew a few of the people in that, and of course, this was a very sweaty race. So I decided if this was going to be a sweaty race, as he put out on Twitter, I'm going to go and make this a little bit more harder for myself. So I lose the back end there in towards La Source. And I decided that I'm going to start last for this race. I'm going to make myself start last. In other words, just track extend, because it's on strict corner cutting. And I just wanted to see how I got on. I just, you know, I wasn't going to be here for the try hard and stuff. I'm not going to obviously wipe people out and everything. I'm just going to race and just see how I can do against, you know, these people. I'm not expecting to get anywhere higher up. If I get into the points, I'll be extremely happy with that. So as you can see then, on my first Tesla lap there, I cut the corner into Lecom and got an invalid lap time there and started letting everyone through because obviously, you know, I'd lost the track. And you can see there at the top of your screens, you may have just seen it come into the pits. New Zealand Ryan is the fastest out there. So you can see, like, I mean, if you've got Ben and New Zealand Ryan in here and you know how fast they are in their league racing videos, you can tell I'm not going to get very far, considering I do backwards challenges and races against 0% AI. So, you know, I just wanted to see how I was, and I just wanted to have some fun. So the rules and restrictions for this online race that Ben set up was that it was a 25% race, short qualifying session. I believe all assists were allowed to be on, apart from braking assist was on ABS on only, or you could turn it to ABS off, obviously, for, you know, like Ben and New Zealand Ryan's cases. So that was the only thing that was different. And I didn't actually realize that braking assist was on just ABS on. Yeah, but overall, you can see everyone here setting their lap times, and Ben currently at the top. So as you can see then, qualifying is complete, and you can see that I'm already 4 seconds up on my delta, but again, I'm doing this just so I can get a fast lap, and I don't know what that Ferrari is doing, but you can see there, I cut the bus stop chicane because I don't want to start wherever I'm going to start, but you can see there, Ben set a 143.9, and I was like 1.4 seconds slower, so you can tell how much faster Ben is already. It wasn't a clean lap, but I'm not really bothered. And as you can see then, starting last, and yeah, I just felt like doing last and first, to be honest. I'm not going to finish first. Probably won't even finish in the points. But as you can see then, New Zealand Ryan is on pole position ahead of It's Ollie, and then also Ben separated by 0.2 of a second from ESR Stone. And you can see me there down in last place, ready to get underway. Although, unfortunately, you may have just seen there that someone does have a 5-place grid penalty, which means that I'm going to be starting in 19th place. But technically, I'm doing last to first because I didn't even set a lap time. So, yeah, that's how we're going to do things. So, on the grid, then, I'm going to be starting on the super soft tyres, moving to a set of ultra soft tyres for the end of the race. And, yeah, just seeing how I can get on, really. I don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, I've said it many times in this video. I'm just here to just race, basically. I'm not, you know, a hardcore racer. Everybody knows that if you're here on the channel. I'm here in terms of Formula 1 to, obviously race, and if I do go into races, I want to race fairly, and also I just do it for the fun. But anyway, here we are then on the grid then for the Belgian Grand Prix. We've got 5 red lights here for this Belgian Grand Prix, and it is lights out. We go here to start the Belgian Grand Prix, and that Ferrari definitely jump-started there off the line, but we get a very decent start in P20, and already I know there's going to be carnage into La Source, so I'm just going to let everyone, as you can see there, all smash into each other. We're up into P9, but I've actually been stuck by one of the Renault cars, and this was a problem here. I'm playing this very cautiously. I didn't realize as I get hit up the back there multiple times, I thought that damage was on simulation. That's why I backed out so much into that corner. But it turns out damage was off. And as soon as I realized that, I was like, oh, well, I'm just going to go a little bit faster then. So you can see there, already up into P12. And that's just from being cautious. I'm not making any silly overtakes there. So up into 12th place. Now you can see It's Ollie, who started on the front row of the grid. It's all the way down in 11th place. But unfortunately, you can see there, he's currently on AI mode. So I'm not sure what's happened there for Ollie, but now as we come through Lecom, we're catching up to, I believe this is Steve 1217, and unfortunately more cars go spinning out, and we're already up into P9 in this Grand Prix after starting technically last, obviously 19th place, you know, kind of pretty much starting on the back row of the grid. And yeah, off to an amazing start now as we come through towards Puon now for the first time here in this race, trying to get into use of these super soft tyres. Obviously, we're doing a different strategy to the rest of the field, so it does mean that at some point we're going to have the front runners like New Zealand Ryan and also Tiametmarduk right behind me, which is going to be a little bit worrying. But as you can see here, we've got Steve here going a little bit wide in towards this chicane, and he sort of just held me up a little bit there. Cut the corner, luckily no exceeding track limits because I was going so slow that it didn't warn me for the corner cutting there. But you can see we've got Callum Games, who unfortunately is in AI mode, so we're going to get an easy overtake on Callum as we now make our way towards Blanchimont. But now we need to focus on seeing if we can find a way past Steve here, who seems to be a little bit flustered in the corners as through Blanchimont. That's exceeding the track limits. And now in towards the bus stop chicane. We're going to try and do a switchback here. Ben's leading this race with a fast lap of the race so far, but unfortunately the switchback just didn't quite work. I just couldn't quite get the power down as much as I wanted, but I'm going to keep it through here. And then towards La Source, this is where I'm going to pounce. So towards La Source we go, down the inside here on Steve. We get the move done, but luckily for myself, no contact, but Steve actually holds it on in there. And now as we make the charge towards Eau Rouge here, I do realise that at this stage in the race, Steve is running with less downforce, so he's going to be faster, but we go up side by side through Eau Rouge. Lovely racing between the pair of us. Fair play to Steve there for holding it in and not basically just going straight and wiping me out. But this is when I saw here that he was definitely running with a lot less error than me. As we come towards here, a lot of lag unfortunately for myself, and we brake very late in towards Le Con, but he actually goes and hits us there, and we do go off the track, and we do cut the corner, and I got a warning for corner cutting, but as you can see, that was an illegal overtake. Now, at this stage in the race, I actually completely didn't notice that that was an illegal overtake. I didn't notice the illegal overtake thing there, so I just carried on my way, and I'm like, hang on a minute, why have I just got a 5-second stop-go penalty for gaining a place? It just warned me for corner cutting. I thought that was it. Until I realised after the race, in terms of editing this video now, that I did actually get an illegal overtake as the back end comes out and towards the exit chicane. Unfortunately, once again, Steve comes in front of me, and he was sticking with me very well using the slipstream and also the straight line speed that he'd set up on his car, whereas my car was more set up for a bit of more of a balance, should we say, so not really, you know, tailored into one section. And now I'm thinking to myself, great, now I'm stuck behind him, and I know in that middle sector, he's not very quick. I'm not trying to say it's rude, like, you know, you're not fast there. I knew I was just quicker in the middle sector. I'd set the car up very well for that middle sector, and you can see here, slipstream, DRS, not even closing in on him. So I can tell, right, I'm going to have to do this somewhere completely different, and this is where I'm going to do it. In towards Puon now, Steve gets on the curb very, very aggressively there, and he has a horrible run through Puon, and you can see that we've got a great run on Steve, and we're actually going to dive it down the inside in towards the chicane. I committed to this move. I forced my car very wide, opened the steering, lovely overtake there, up into 6th place now, and I needed to make that move because I knew that he wasn't quite as fast as myself in that middle sector, and I need to get on with it because in this stage of the race, you know, I can't get held up anymore. If I want to gain some positions, I need to do it fast. Now, onto lap 4 of the Grand Prix, and a lot of drivers have now made their pit stops for the first stage of this race. But you can see through Stavilo corner, I've lost the back end of the car, gone onto the gravel trap there, got flustered, and Ben has to go around the outside. He hits the gravel trap there, and I don't want to hit Ben there, and someone's actually gone into the back of me there as I got very all out of shakedown. I got warned for a collision even though someone hit me in the back, so I'm not sure how that worked, but I lost the back end into Stavilo. Ben had to go around the outside to make sure that he didn't actually hit me, and then obviously he was coming back onto the track, and I knew he had gravel on his tyres, so I didn't want to hit into the side of Ben, so I slowed down, as unfortunately, in a typical, as you see in Tiametmarduk's videos, there is a back marker that completely takes him out as I go wide into Puon, and now I'm back in front of Ben again. But of course, in this stage of the race, I'm not really fighting them, which is why, again, I didn't want to go side by side with Ben in the exit of Puon. Sorry, the exit of Stavilo, as New Zealand Ryan gets taken out up Eau Rouge there. So both Ben and New Zealand Ryan have been taken out in this race, and now I lead the Grand Prix, which is quite funny actually. But of course, I know I'm not going to be leading this for very long because of course I'm going to have to make my pit stop, and I have a 5-second stop-go penalty as well. And as you can see, here is the back marker that took out New Zealand Ryan, and I'm like, oh god, please don't take me out. And he doesn't, so thankfully for me, he doesn't recognise who I am. Obviously, everyone knows it's Tiametmarduk and New Zealand Ryan. They don't know anything about me, so yeah, I got the benefit of not being taken out by anyone as I get a very harsh there, exceeding track limits and a 3-second time penalty. I didn't think I went wide there, but unfortunately I did. Now, in this stage of the race, my gap was 5 seconds over New Zealand Ryan, and I decided that this was the best time to come in for my pit stop now and change. And obviously, I skipped the pit stop because I had a 5-second stop-go penalty, so I was just sat there for ages. But we're now out of the pits here, and we're in 8th place, so that's where we've rejoined in this race. And now we just need to press on and see. We've got a lot of cars that we're in a mixture with, but we're on the ultra soft tyres now. And on the super soft tyres, I'm not going to lie, I didn't feel very comfortable. I felt a little bit, the back end just wasn't really working as well. I was struggling in the traction zones. And now with the ultra soft tyres and with the low fuel load, we should be a lot faster in this race. And we can look to try and make some good gains in this Grand Prix. But luckily for myself, someone's already made an easy gain for me, as they've actually lost the back end there, spun themselves out as we go very, very wide there on the curbing. And now, as you can see here, Ben sets the fast lap of the race on a 47.5, which is just, that just shows you how much faster he is in this in Formula 1 than I am. And as you can see, then we've got, I think this is Little Rye going for an overtake on ECR Shadow. And I had to take avoiding action there, and annoyingly got another warning for exceeding track limits. That one I didn't really want to do, but I didn't really know where else to go, because he sort of covered me off there trying to do a switchback. And in towards last source yet again, he's just trying to get a move here on Little Ryan. Now I need to find a way past ECR Shadow if I'm going to make my way up into 6th place in this race. And as you can see, I didn't even need to make the overtake, because coming in towards this corner now, he just loses the back end like that, and that's a free overtake for me up into 6th place now. Don't know how that happened, but you know, I'll take it at this moment in time. And you know, I sort of just got to the point in this race where I realized, as long as I don't come across any back markers, that's the easiest way to gain places in an online race, because, you know, as you can see here comes Little Rye coming through Pouon. There's a back marker in front, and, you know, looks like he's letting him through, and then they go side by side. They make a little bit of contact, so I'm backing out of this. I'm like, no, I'm not going to make any overtakes here. And as you can see, eventually, he gets forced onto the gravel trap, and then I make the easy overtake there. And as you can see here, he then goes horribly wide into Stavlo, into the gravel trap, and, yeah, up into 5th place. And, yeah, I knew that was happening, so, yeah, that's the point. Just stay out of trouble, really. That's the only way you can do well in these online races. And just stay out of the trouble, and you'll be fine. And, yeah, we now have Steve 1217 in front of us, who we did actually overtake, so he's done a great job in this race. But on to the last lap of the Grand Prix then. Ben actually comes across the line to win the Belgian Grand Prix, but we're going to come across the line in just a second now, and you can see here Callum Games is actually disconnected from the lobby, so you can see that we're just going to go through him. But we're closing up onto the podium. There is ESR Stone, and unfortunately I just clipped the too much curbing and the bus stop and got yet another corner cutting penalty, and unfortunately that is going to drop me behind behind somebody. I'm not sure who it dropped me behind, but yeah, I was so upset with that. I was like, ah, because if I didn't do that, then I would have gained a 3 seconds and finished in 4th, I think it was. So I was really disappointed to pick up that final corner cutting penalty. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this video. I thought I would just record it and show it to you guys. Me just seeing how I get on in the race online, you know, when people, you know, this was meant to be, as Ben quoted, a sweaty lobby. So I thought, you know what, let's just start last, see where I can finish. And, you know, I finished P6. So I'm pretty happy with that. But guys, if you have enjoyed today's video, feel free to drop it a like. If you're new around here as well, feel free to click the subscribe button. And yeah, I will see you guys for another video very, very soon. But if we finished where we were, we would have actually finished in P4 if I didn't get that final penalty. So I'm gutted about that. But anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this race. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Take care all. Peace.